Hi, it's Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary, and I hope you're very well. Before we go into the commentary, I just want to run through another psychological aspect of trading, and that is trading through fear. That if you trade where you want guarantees almost, that you want so much certainty that a trade is going to work out, that you end up trading so little, it can actually be very detrimental to your trading. So you can have a trader who just needs every trade to be a winner. And so what they do is they try and cherry pick so much in order to get all these winners. But what happens is they trade very sporadically as a result. So they might then only trade now and again over here like this. And it's so sporadic that if they have a loser, it still affects their overall trading, because there were plenty of other opportunities that they've just missed out on because they were trying to be almost too fussy. They want so much certainty. So if you find yourself that you may be in that category, you need to look at your trading and say, am I being too cautious? How many trades am I missing out on that actually would have been profitable trades? Because I find that a lot of traders do that and suffer that emotion, and as a result their trading then suffers. So as a result of them trying to be ultra cautious, it actually affects their trading, in that their trading either goes sideways or maybe their account even goes maybe slightly down, because they're too scared in their trading to want to take opportunities when they do come along. There is a fine line though, because obviously we as traders we need to make sure that we are being cautious and not over trading, and that we're making sure we're taking the right setups and quality setups. But there's a fine line between making sure we're taking quality setups and just looking for every single moon to come into alignment and the heavens to come into alignment before we take a trade. Because if we're looking at it, the market's like that, then we'll hardly ever trade, and what will happen as a result is that we'll still have losers, and because we'll be trading so infrequently, it'll end up that we're not trading enough to make back losses, and in that having a sequence of winners and losers regularly enough, at least. Anyway, so that was the only thing on that. Now it's a bank holiday today, so I'm not really going to cover off too much on the intradays, or really is not too much more to add from what I talked about last Friday. The Aussie dollar, I'd quite like to see the Aussie dollar on the daily charts pull back, maybe down to this daily 50 or daily 21. Whether it's going to or not, I do not know, but I'd quite like to see a pullback now on the Aussie, but I just don't know if it's going to. But overall, I think the Aussie it's had a good run, and it makes sense that it may want to pull back. So that's how I'm looking at the Aussie. But it's running up, and there's no reason why it has to pull back. It's just hit the daily 100, this dotted blue line, so there's a bit of resistance up there. So we shall see about that one. But let's go to the more exciting story, and that's the pound dollar. Because the pound dollar's just had this amazing run, and I personally missed it being out on Wednesday of last week. I would have got in on that day here, and I would have run some, because my overall analysis was calling for a breakout on the pound dollar. And so it's just had a great run. I still think that it's probably got some more upside to it, but it's having a nice pullback day today, and I think that let's see how it reacts if it can come back and test these prior highs. So that's what we need to look at. So this sort of 166 zone area, and see how the pound responds then. But overall, I've been talking about it for a long time. That potential for 170 on the pound dollar is still very much in play. And then for the euro dollar, the candles have started to get a bit small here, so the volatility is really low at the moment, at least on the euro dollar. Obviously another small day today, being no news out today and bank holiday in the US. Really not a lot going on at the moment, so we're just going to have to see. We need to see that euro dollar get a close above that 137 level, which we've yet to see yet. So but if we can get above 137, like I said, 137.50 should be fairly doable. We're at 137 at the moment. Oh, it must be coming up. Let's have a quick look at the 5-minute chart. Okay, it's just playing around. Yeah, 5-minute chart's messy. So if we can get a close above 137, then it does bode well for that push higher. Then ultimately to 138, back up to these prior highs, and these prior highs from October last year as well, and then we'll see from there onwards. And then lastly, let's have a look at the S&P. I think I did some analysis on the stock indices last week, and look at this. Just tremendous move back up on the S&P. There's just again a lot of bears out there, and even I had to say, well, look, until proven otherwise, then this is a market where traders will be looking to sell short. It's come up to the prior trend line here, and so it may want to just back away from that, but so far so good. And one thing I did say to look out for was that Nasdaq. So if I can find the Nasdaq just off screen here and look at that one, and like I said, if the Nasdaq breaks out, then it bodes better for some of these other indices. They're lagging behind, especially the Dow. So look at the Dow. It's lagging behind, but as we can see, Nasdaq's broken out, S&P's nearly there. Before we know it, this market could be flying for new highs again, and so maybe just one or two too many bears out there in the markets at the moment, and there certainly are a number of those. But other than that, there's not really too much more to say about it. Watch the S&P to see if it may want to go and break out. It looks a little bit extended at the moment, so I'd rather see a consolidation or a bit of a pullback, and then see if it can muster the gas to then see if it can then go for the breakout. But that's looking like it could be on the cards, but certainly we're at some short-term resistance. See how we go to from here. I haven't even looked at the futures yet to see what they're up to this morning, but yeah, a good run there. And so let's see how these markets get moving as we go through this week. We've got some key levels to be watching out for on the likes of the euro dollar, the pound dollar, and even on the Aussie as well. So and as for the yen, sorry, just to finish off with, as for the dollar yen, it's had this nice little move down over the last several days of last week. It's having a bit of a bounce here today. It just seems to be trying to hold on at the moment. I'd like to see it come down to that daily 200. I think if we can see it start to roll again and get back below 101.50, then I think that would bode well for a run down to that daily 200 down below 150. Right, I shall leave that with you. If you're already aware, not already aware, won't be around on Friday because I'm at the Forex show down at the Olympia. If any of you are coming, it'd be good to see you. Kim and I are down there the week on Friday, so hopefully some of you we shall see then, and I'll be back with live trading next week.